The final days and tragic ending of Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller, one childhood and early career, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating life and legacy of one of Hollywood's most enduring icons, Johnny Weissmuller. Though best known for donning a loincloth and swinging through the jungle vines as Tarzan, Weissmuller's remarkable journey began long before the silver screen called his name. Let's unravel this story of perseverance, athletic prowess, and cultural impact, one that continues to intrigue fans and historians alike. Born on June 2, 1904, in a region then known as Szabadvalva, Hungary, Johnny Weissmuller came from a Banat Swabian family with deep roots in Central Europe. Just 3 days after he was born, he was baptized into the Catholic faith under the Hungarian variant of his German name, János. In January of 1905, when Johnny was a mere 8 months old, his parents, Peter and Elizabeth, decided to embark on a bold transatlantic journey. Sailing on the SS Rotterdam, they arrived at Ellis Island and began building their lives in the United States. Initially settling in the coal mining town of Windber, Pennsylvania, the Weissmullers welcomed Johnny's younger brother, Peter, the following year. In pursuit of more opportunities and closer proximity to extended family, they moved to Chicago 3 years later, renting a small space in a shared house that shaped Johnny's formative years. Life in early 20th century Chicago was not always easy, especially for immigrant families. The city was bustling with industrial growth, yet financial hardships were common. While Johnny's father found work in physically demanding jobs, he was often away, and tension within the household grew. By the time Johnny was in 8th grade, his father left the family entirely, forcing young Johnny to quit school to help support his mother and brother. Yet amid these struggles, he found a sanctuary at Fullerton Beach on Lake Michigan. It was there that a local lifeguard introduced him to swimming, a sport that would quickly define the course of his life. Weissmuller discovered he had a natural gift in the water. Before long, he entered every local race he could find, impressing onlookers with his powerful strokes and blazing speed. 2. Athletic achievements and Olympic career. While juggling various odd jobs to keep his family afloat, Johnny began honing his swimming techniques in the city's public pools and athletic clubs. He practiced relentlessly and soon gained the attention of respected coaches. At the time, America was experiencing a growing love affair with competitive sports, spurred on by radio broadcasts and newspapers that celebrated athletic stars. Johnny's unwavering commitment and raw talent earned him a place on local swim teams, setting the stage for his rise in the 1920s and 1930s, an era often referred to as the golden age of sports. Eventually, he claimed 5 Olympic gold medals, broke 67 world records, and became widely regarded as one of the greatest swimmers of all time. At the age of 11, he was so determined to join the Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, which required members to be at least 12, that he lied about his age. His talent in the water was undeniable. YMCA coaches noticed his powerful strokes and competitive drive, and before long, he was winning nearly every race he entered. Not content with just swimming, Johnny also excelled at running and high jumping. His impressive all-around athleticism led to an invitation to join the Illinois Athletic Club swim team, a prestigious group that nurtured many national champions. By 1921, Johnny was ready for bigger challenges. He entered his first National Amateur Athletic Union, AAU, competition in Duluth, Minnesota, and made an immediate splash by winning the 50-yard freestyle event. It was the start of a record-breaking streak that soon attracted national headlines. By April 1922, he had set an astonishing 17 new world records, prompting the New York Times to describe him as a remarkable youth who seemed to break an existing record every time he dove into the pool. Johnny's star continued to rise. On July 4th, 1923, in Decatur, Illinois, he broke the world record for the 500-meter freestyle by a staggering 11 seconds, finishing in just 6 minutes and 55 seconds. By that point, he had set over 50 records, a feat that earned him the Helms Athletic Foundation's American Swimmer of the Year award in 1923, as well as the Helms World Trophy as Athlete of the Year for North America. All eyes were on Johnny Weissmuller when the 1924 Olympics in Paris approached. The only hitch was a brief question regarding his citizenship. Nevertheless, he traveled with the U.S. swimming team and lived up to his growing reputation by capturing 3 gold medals and 1 bronze. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 3 and weighing about 195 pounds, Johnny cut an unforgettable figure in the pool. He set a new Olympic record of 59 seconds flat in the men's 100-meter freestyle, followed by another record of 5 minutes and 4.2 seconds in the 400-meter freestyle. Along with his teammates, he also won the men's 4x200-meter freestyle relay. Outside the swimming events, Johnny joined the U.S. water polo team, helping them secure the bronze medal, a testament to his versatility as an athlete. With his natural confidence, powerful kicks, and distinctive head-up swimming style, Johnny went on to dominate indoor and outdoor national championships in the years that followed. By the time the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam rolled around, he was a household name. He cemented his status as one of history's greatest swimmers by earning 2 additional gold medals. In the men's 100-meter freestyle, he broke yet another Olympic record by clocking in at 58.6 seconds. He and his teammates then shattered the world record in the men's 4x200-meter freestyle relay, finishing in 9 minutes and 32.2 seconds. Finally, on January 3, 1929, after years of grueling training and international triumphs, Johnny decided to retire as an amateur athlete, though his love for the sport never waned. Third transition to acting. Of course, the swimming pool was just one stage in Johnny's extraordinary life. For many around the globe, Johnny Weissmuller's name is forever linked with the legendary Tarzan. He starred in 12 Tarzan films between 1932 and 1948, becoming the quintessential image of Edgar Rice Burroughs' classic character. Audiences were captivated by his chiseled physique, his iconic Tarzan yell, and his on-screen chemistry with co-stars. Hollywood was entering a glamorous epoch where movie stars reigned supreme, and Weissmuller's transition from champion swimmer to leading man propelled him into a new realm of fame. After his retirement from competitive swimming in 1929, Weissmuller wasted no time finding ways to stay active. He became involved in swimming documentaries, sharing his skills and promoting new techniques on camera. Recognizing the commercial value of his famous name, he agreed to endorse swimwear for the impressive sum of $500 a week, a significant payday for the era. Meanwhile, he maintained his friendships with fellow Olympians like Clarence Buster Crabbe, another talented swimmer-turned-actor who also portrayed Tarzan in separate films. Their camaraderie led to a cameo appearance together, reflecting the tight-knit community of athletes turned Hollywood personalities. In 1930, Weissmuller published a book titled Swimming: The American Crawl. This publication offered a detailed look at the freestyle stroke, commonly known at the time as the American crawl. Within its pages, he broke down everything from breathing methods to relaxation and timing, illustrating each point with a series of instructional photographs. He was determined to help aspiring swimmers improve their form by emphasizing his hydroplaning strokes, a style he believed gave him a competitive edge in the pool. Weissmuller's transition to full-fledged movie stardom happened quickly. After a successful screen test at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM, he landed the lead role in Tarzan the Ape Man, 1932. Crucially, he became the first actor to portray Tarzan in a talkie, as previous Tarzan films had been silent. Audiences were captivated by his athletic build, natural confidence, and the distinctive Tarzan yell he delivered on screen. Over the next decade and beyond, he starred in more than a dozen Tarzan films, each doing well at the box office and further solidifying his place in Hollywood. Beyond Tarzan, Weissmuller also featured in various adventure and horror films until the mid-1950s, expanding his repertoire and demonstrating his ability to adapt to different genres. By 1948, he was ready to step into a new role behind the scenes. That year, he co-founded a motion picture production company responsible for the entire Jungle Jim film series. In many ways, this venture was a natural progression of his on-screen persona. The Jungle Jim character, an adventurer navigating perilous tropical landscapes, mirrored the excitement of his Tarzan days, but allowed him more creative control. Later on, he reprised the role for television audiences, starring in 26 episodes of Jungle Jim throughout the 1950s. This exposure further broadened his fan base at a time when television was becoming an increasingly popular medium. Interestingly, Weissmuller wasn't just a movie star during these years. In May 1939, he showcased his aquatic talents in Billy Rose's Aquacade at the New York World's Fair in Flushing Meadows. Performed alongside fellow swimming champion Eleanor Holm, the Aquacade was a spectacular water show, set in a 275-foot outdoor pool. Thousands of attendees flocked to witness choreographed routines, diving exhibitions, and of course Weissmuller's signature strokes. When World War II escalated, Weissmuller found yet another avenue to serve. He spent 2 years training Marines in San Pedro, California, focusing on specialized water survival skills. Twice a week, he demonstrated high fall and escape dives, as well as methods for swimming in water that was set ablaze with oil or gasoline, a grim necessity in combat scenarios. His hands-on approach and well-honed techniques proved invaluable to many soldiers who would later face challenging conditions at sea. For all his achievements in entertainment, Weissmuller never lost sight of his swimming roots. In 1949, he was elected to the Helms Swimming Hall of Fame, recognizing his unmatched influence in the world of competitive swimming. 1 year later, the Associated Press named him the greatest swimmer of the first half-century, an honor that highlighted just how far ahead of his peers he had been in breaking world records and winning Olympic medals. His accomplishments continued to be celebrated for decades. In 1972, during the Munich Summer Olympics, he received an honorary gold medal, a symbolic gesture that acknowledged his enduring contributions to the sport. Then, in 1983, he was inducted into the Olympic Hall of Fame as one of its very first members, underscoring a legacy that transcended both sports and cinema. 4. Personal life and relationships. Despite the fame and success he enjoyed, Weissmuller experienced considerable turbulence in his relationships. He was married and divorced 5 times. His first marriage to band and dance singer Bobby Arnst lasted from 1931 to 1933. He then married Mexican film star Lupe Velez in 1933. Their union was famously stormy, and the couple parted ways in 1938. The following year, in 1939, Weissmuller wed Beryl Scott, with whom he had 3 children, Johnny Weissmuller Jr., Wendy Ann Weissmuller, and Heidi Elizabeth Weissmuller. Tragically, Heidi later lost her life in a car accident, a devastating event that cast a long shadow over the family. Beyond these children, Weissmuller also became stepfather to Lisa Weissmuller Gallagher in a subsequent marriage, demonstrating the complexity of his familial bonds. Weissmuller's personal challenges weren't limited to marital ups and downs. In 1948, shortly after his divorce from Beryl, he married Aline Gates, but that relationship ultimately ended in 1962. His fifth and final marriage was to Maria Baumann in 1963, a partnership that lasted until his death. Observers of his life often note how the public saw him as a picture of strength and vitality, while privately he struggled to find lasting stability. These difficulties, combined with his demanding career, highlight the dichotomy between his public image as a champion and his private battles with heartbreak and loss. Even against this backdrop of personal turmoil, Weissmuller's compassion and heroism continued to shine through. In 1927, before Hollywood had fully claimed him, he performed a rescue that would prove just how far he was willing to go to help others. That summer, while training for the Chicago Marathon, he was on duty as a lifeguard when a sudden violent storm caused a small excursion boat to capsize half a mile off North Avenue in Lake Michigan. Weissmuller and other rescuers managed to pull more than 50 passengers from the water that day. Sadly, 16 children, 10 women, and 1 man drowned, but Weissmuller's actions helped prevent the tragedy from becoming even worse. This sense of duty remained a hallmark of his character. Years later, during World War II, he spent time training Marines in San Pedro, California, teaching them specialized swimming and survival techniques, including how to handle water lit with oil or gasoline. Fifth, later years and declining health. By the mid-1970s, it became clear that Weissmuller's health was on a downward slope. In 1974, he had a serious fall that left him with a broken hip and leg, a shocking event for someone whose entire life had revolved around his physical strength and agility. During his hospital stay, doctors discovered he had a major heart condition, which was another harsh reminder that his days of effortless motion were behind him. Not long after, in 1977, Weissmuller suffered a series of strokes. It was a tough period for a man who had once felt invincible. He'd soared to fame as an Olympian and Hollywood star, yet now he was grappling with basic tasks most people take for granted. In 1979, Weissmuller spent a few weeks at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California, a care facility known for helping out retirees in the entertainment industry. For someone who had experienced endless adulation on the big screen, living in a more secluded medical setting was a big adjustment. Around this time, he was still carrying the memories and burdens of his personal life. He'd had 5 marriages, lost a child in a tragic accident, and dealt with countless demands from Hollywood. Perhaps searching for a more peaceful chapter, he decided to move to Acapulco, Mexico with his wife Maria. This spot held special meaning for him because it was where he'd filmed his last Tarzan movie. The warm climate also offered some relief for his ailing joints and overall health. Although he was no longer able to swim like he once did, or pull off the stunts that made him famous, there was comfort in being near the sea. His family members visited whenever they could, and despite the lingering sorrow of Heidi's passing, he found small moments of happiness, recalling the days when he dominated the pool and wowed audiences on screen. His later years were a far cry from the Hollywood limelight, but he stayed connected to fans who remembered him as Tarzan, the Olympic champion, or both. Some even reached out to share how his performances and achievements had inspired them, either to become swimmers themselves or just to admire his can-do spirit in life. Sadly, on January 20th, 1984, Johnny Weissmuller passed away in Acapulco at the age of 79. The official cause was pulmonary edema, fluid buildup in the lungs. Despite his declining health, the news of his death still came as a blow to those who'd admired him for decades. He was buried just outside Acapulco at Valle de la Luz, Valley of the Light Cemetery. In a gesture that honored his legacy, his coffin was lowered to the echo of the famed Tarzan yell that he himself had made famous, played 3 times as per his request. Among those paying their respects were Senator Ted Kennedy and President Ronald Reagan, who arranged a 21-gun salute in Weissmuller's honor. It was an extraordinary tribute, treating him almost like a head of state, something that underlined just how iconic he had become. In these final chapters of Johnny Weissmuller's story, we see a man who had once embodied unbeatable health and athletic skill, coming face to face with the challenges of aging. Yet, his influence never really faded. He left behind a dual legacy, one as an Olympic hero who pushed the boundaries of competitive swimming, and another as a Hollywood figure who brought Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan to life for an entire generation. His later years in Acapulco might have been quieter, but they allowed him the space to reflect on a lifetime filled with highs, world records, Olympic medals, box office hits, and lows, personal tragedies, multiple divorces, and the physical toll of time. In the end, his story is a moving reminder that even legends are human, experiencing triumph and sadness in equal measure. Yet his unforgettable Tarzan call and the records he once shattered continue to echo through sports history and cinema alike. Thank you for joining us as we explore this poignant period in Johnny Weissmuller's life. If you enjoyed this deeper look, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.